about you, but I don't think there's anything better than a big roaring fire. So, but maybe I'm weird, which could be a possibility. So the reason that I have this fire going right now is, well, I have two reasons. The first is I took down a temporary compost bin, and that's what these pallets are made of. And they were really kind of rotted. I didn't burn them before I put the compost in because it was just a temporary thing. So I cut that up and I'm burning these pellets. But the second reason is I got this wool from somebody. She gave it to me. It's really dirty, but I'm going to build insulated beehives this fall. And so it's certainly, I can clean it, and then like the really dirty stuff, I just throw in the fire. So, but you need a pretty like hefty fire, because if you put big pieces in, it just smolders. It doesn't really burn, which is gross. So I thought I'd kind of tell you about my beehive plans. So I'm going to build what's called a Layens type hive. Now, most of the hives that you see, like when you're driving around or whatever, they're the little boxes, and they're called Langstroth hives. And they work well, especially if like maximum honey production is what you're after, which is what obviously most commercial beekeepers want. So, but they do have some kind of disadvantages too. The brood box is on the bottom, so if you want to check the brood, you have to lift all of the boxes off and disturb like all the bees in there. And the second really big thing is like a full box of honey and comb is like 50 or 60 pounds. And I can't do that. I just can't. It's too heavy for me. So this Layens hive that I'm going to build is a horizontal hive, which means it's like a long box that has all the frames in one level. And the frames actually meet at the top. There aren't any spaces in between them. So when you open up the hive, you don't disturb the bees. You just pull out one frame and you only have like an inch where the bees can come out. So it's much less disturbing for them. So that's a good thing. And the other thing is obviously you don't have to lift 50-pound boxes, which I just can't. So the type of hive that I'm building, the plans are on horizontalhive.com. He's from Russia, and he does natural beekeeping. He doesn't use any kind of chemicals or anything like that. And he sort of does like minimal intervention type, you just don't mess with them very much. And which sounds great to me because I don't have time. And like maximum honey production is not my goal anyway. I want wax and honey, but like there's a limit to how much we can use, and it's not a commercial endeavor. So I'm really excited, and I'm doing an insulated hive. There's some big advantages to insulating your hives. They're cooler in the summer, which helps your bees a lot because more of them can be out there gathering nectar and not, standing at the door fanning the hive to keep it cool so the brood doesn't die. And then in the winter, of course, they don't have to use as much honey, and they can't. We're gonna have a thunderstorm here. So they don't need as much stores, and then the condensation isn't as bad, which moisture is a lot of what kills them in the winter times, especially when they die in the spring. It's usually a moisture project or a moisture problem. So these Layens hives, Layens hives are insulated with 1.5 inches of wool. So he recommends raw wool that still has the grease, the lanolin on it, because the lanolin prevents the wool from soaking up any moisture and molding, and it also kind of repels pests. So I am super excited about this project. I don't know if I'll have enough once I get all the really bad stuff out, but the lady I got it from said she's shearing again. And since shearing's like a spring thing, I have to know before it's time. So I'm going to get this cleaned. If you have any questions, if you've ever used these Layens hives, I would love to hear your experience. I've done top bar hives, which kind of is a similar concept, but you don't have frames. And I struggle with them because you spend so much time trying to keep them from building the comb wonky and everything. So I wasn't super thrilled with those. Anybody, if you've had any experience with these Layens hives, I would love to hear about it. And if you have any other questions, if you would like to hear about anything else or learn about anything else, please let me know. Drop me a comment. I love your comments. I read everyone. I try to answer everyone. And we'll see you next time.